Hello and welcome to Mini Bloks. You're watching Mini Bloks Vlogs. This is the comfiest chair on YouTube, and today we're having a bit more of a rant. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Should I have done a vlog series? And now that we're on episode 3 of Mini Bloks Vlogs, I feel like it's a good, prudent time. Prudent, probably the wrong word, probably doesn't fit in. I don't know, he told me to say it, doesn't really matter. It's been weird, alright? It's been weird. Let's start with that one. I just wanted to sit down, talk about stuff, but it's like 6:30. It's kind of dark outside, but light outside at the other end. Bright lights. I'm really hot and bothered. There's been spiders and mosquitoes, and I just want to sit down and record my vlogs with my Vimto. Stuff all over my trousers. No idea what's going on. So this is something I wanted to discuss, which is called Mini Bloks Vlogs Episode 3, The State of Toys. Now what does that mean? Don't really know. Am I guilty of what I'm going to rant about? Kind of. But I want to sort of get into something that I've noticed. I guess it's probably always been there, but it seems like it's more relevant, more prudent in recent years, or at least lately. It's kind of the difference between boys and girls toys. Now obviously boys and girls, men's and women's, depends how you look at it. Obviously collectibles and toys and stuff have kind of transcended between being childish and being commonplace for adults now, because I guess the people that grew up with it like really grew up in this kind of pop culture infused childhoods. It's now more relevant than ever. I mean, Spider-Man is everywhere, and Spider-Man was not everywhere when I was growing up. So why have I just, why would I just decide now I don't want this because I'm old? No, the opposite. I want this more because I can afford to buy it. Although he was a Christmas present, actually. Spidey. My partner in crime for a vlog series. But basically, if you go to a toy shop, which I was going to try and provide some evidence, I haven't done, but you don't really need to. If I go down to Toys R Us, or I go to any of the major supermarkets, or The Entertainer, which is a toy shop brand in the UK, I usually find that for me, as a shopper, a customer of their store, there's a certain setup of how the toys go. So you've got like your sort of more garden-y toys, would you call them? Your Nerf guns and things of that nature. Usually more weapons and guns, stuff that you can play around within the environment with. And you've got a lot of remote controlled cars and different vehicles and monster trucks, and you've got toy cars like your Hot Wheels, and Matchbox is still a thing. And then after that, particularly in Toys R Us, is how it more or less is set out. Well, I guess you got video games before that, but that's irrelevant. And then you sort of get into a mixture of toys but on the lower budget, so like your smaller toys, your lesser known brands who just do like generic fantasy playsets with dragons and knights and dinosaurs and army, lots of sort of generic kind of lower end army vehicles, which are awesome, by the way. Not something I want to go in and collect and buy myself, but if I was a kid, they're £25–30 and you can get massive helicopters and a full set of toys, and anything that gets you a figure that fits in a vehicle is awesome in my book. So to have like this whole plethora of accessories and vehicles and toys, and they're all quite low price tags, and they all look good. Anyway, and then after you've got through that bit, then is when you hit, like in the boys section, you hit your licensed toys. So for me, obviously, I sort of skim past Disney, I skim past Despicable Me, and I go straight to Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, and then the next aisle on, you've got your Marvel and your Star Wars, a bit of DC, a bit of WWE. That's sort of it, really. You kind of hit sort of your peak, and then there's other things in there, but I mean, that traditionally, Transformers and Mega Bloks obviously is at the back, but it's all licensed stuff. I mean, that's kind of the point I'm getting at. For a boy, for me, for when I go toy shopping, I'm looking out for Marvel, I'm looking out for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. I mean, they're the three things that's going to draw my attention. But obviously outside of that is going to be more licensed toys. But realistically, there isn't much else in the boys section that is non-licensed. Whereas if you go, because obviously I go toy shopping with my girlfriend, so we go across on her side of the aisle, there is a whole number of different brands that are just purely specific toys. so your Sylvanian families, and I'm not saying these don't transcend into different things, but I mean like as a toy, Sylvanian families, Shopkins, Zelfs, Lalaloopsy, what are they called, Pinny Pons, and then you get into the blind bag culture is a massive sort of phenomenon, which I absolutely love, little minifigures and blind bags. But again, the boys section is all licensed. The girls section, you've got all these other toy brands doing their own minifigures and their own blind bags, and then you've got other things that are just purely specific to that culture, like Num Nums, I think is what they're called, and then there's Mini Mixie Qs, Sums, I guess you could kind of argue, but there's a whole number of different things, and it's kind of like, from my perspective, I look at things, particularly with Mini Mixie Qs, which I think are cool and cute little toys. Obviously, I'm not interested in them, but I'd like, if they did boy versions of those, I'd be paying attention. And obviously, there are certain things out there like Trash Pack and Mutant Mania and Fungus Among Us. So there are different brands doing it, but they just don't seem good enough. I quite like Mutant Mania, but they're quite expensive and they're not good enough to really pull my attention. But the thing is, it's just, what is this cultural difference between how girls are going to be drawn to different girl toys, and they can do brand new, unique brands purely for a toy, and that appeals to the female audience, whereas the males are obviously going to go straight to licenses. And obviously I know the answer because I've been a kid once, I'm still kind of a kid now. So growing up, any toy that was something I was interested and invested in is what I wanted. So for me, my sort of childhood revolves around Bucky O'Hare, Biker Mice from Mars, Power Rangers, Turtles, Space Precinct when I got a bit older. So anything that was a toy of this, I was buying. Now obviously I did buy other toys as well, but I mean, like, that's where my thing is. I'm watching Power Rangers every single weekend. It's my favorite show. It's completely become a fabric in my life, so therefore Power Ranger toys is where I'm going. I'm not saying that isn't a thing for girls, but I think obviously the TV audience and the TV shows are most definitely aimed at boys. But my point of this is just to kind of have a rant saying that, you know, toy companies out there, should you happen to stumble across Mini Bloks Vlogs episode 3, The State of Toys, which is quite unlikely, then maybe it's worthwhile having a go at investing in something that's a little bit different. Obviously, coming off of the back of a license is a much safer bet for making a product which is going to cost a lot of money. But at the same time, if you do something rather cool and rather different, I would be absolutely interested in investing in it. So I guess that's kind of where my point is. Why is this a thing? I already know why that is a thing. Do I need to sit down and ramble about it? Probably not, but I'm going to, and I did. And that's sort of the kind of the gist of it. Gist the right word? The gist of it? Vimto. Vimto is a thing. Spiders and mosquitoes. How can they exist in the same place, both in that corner? Two spiders, a whole load of cobweb. I dropped the windsock fluffy thing on the top of my microphone. I dropped it down there and I put my hand down to pick it up and realized I went through cobweb. Now this isn't like we don't clean, because we do clean. This chair gets moved around a fair bit. We do go behind there. This is a fairly new, it's the time of year, isn't it? They're kicking about. Anyway, I put my hand down there and it's like, ugh, cobweb. And then you look and there's a spider on the side of my bureau, and then there's another spider further down in the corner. And they've made this big web. And above it is a mosquito just flying around. That is like, mosquitoes have now developed how to defeat evolution, because realistically what it should have done is go straight in the web and get stuck and then get eaten by the spider, which is terrifying when you think about how that actually works. But obviously it didn't happen, and much to my dismay I did try and blow the mosquito into the web, but it seems to have gone somewhere else and will probably come back later and be a pain, a nuisance, maybe try and bite me and lead me to run around trying to kill it with a towel, which is a very different kind of area of what I thought this vlogs video was going to be. So basically, you should make toys that are kind of cool. Just come up with a completely different brand. I don't care if it's wrestling or it's just do something that's a brand new idea, cool ass characters, put a story to it, and just make them as toys that everyone wants to go buy. Star Monsters, go pay attention to how they gave you the program, gave you little bits of story, and you go collect them all and you get stickers and all that was really cool, but then just made like really awesome boys toys. Even if Mega Bloks did it, I would love Mega Bloks to do it. Just do that. That's all I'm asking. I understand why that's not a thing, but just also at the same time, just do it. Or better yet, to defeat my entire argument, just make minifigures and blind bags of really old, irrelevant cartoons like Bucky O'Hare and the Biker Mice from Mars, and I'll just go buy them instead of anything new, because that's what we do. Toys. Vimto, Spider-Man, mosquitoes and spiders. What a weird rant. And if you have any questions or you want to see me discuss anything on this show or get my opinions on anything, then make sure to drop a comment below on this video. Or for a more direct way to get into Mini Bloks questions, and send your email across to mvq@mail.com and I'll have a look at it and I'll read it, and I don't know, depends what you put, if you put anything at all, which is probably Krang. Thank you very much for watching my video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below to stay up to the latest from our channel. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest under Mini Bloks. What else would it be? If you want to go see me open up some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and ramble on about how Krang is a secret rare of the Series 1, then you go find that over on Mini Bloks Vlogs Episode 2, The Hunt for Krang. And if you want to see some stop motion construction, then go check out Mini Bloks Constructs Episode 2, Light Breaks, Bomb Squad Blaster. But for everything else, ramblings and spiders and Spider-Man and mosquitoes and Mosquito Man, make sure to keep it locked to Mini Bloks, because I completely undermine my entire philosophy on everything.